Good morning, everybody. This is Justin Hedges, and this is your weekly vlog update from the 3 a.m. Screenwriter for the week ending August 9th. First up, my journey, my writing. I've got about 20 pages, 21 pages of How to Save the World and Get the Girl. I'm not really very happy with that output. That's less than a page a day, so I'm going to have to step up my game next week, or this week, I should say, and try and get some more pages done. That's just not good enough output, and I'm not happy with it. I know I can do better. Other news, Brutal Planet, second feature I wrote. It's the log line appeared in the Inktip magazine this week. That's inktip.com. Inktip puts out a magazine every quarter, I think, that goes out to producers, directors, companies that have subscribed to it. It's got log lines, it's got articles and everything. Stuff that's, the log lines of screenplays are posted on there. So Brutal Planet went out this week under the action adventure category. And also this week, Sunday, we're going to find out if Brutal Planet has made it from the quarterfinals into the semifinals of the Page Awards for 2010. Fingers crossed on that one. I entered it in two genres, action adventure and sci-fi. I'm not sure which one, which category it's advanced in, but I think we do find out in the semifinals if we advance which genre it's in. So hopefully on next week's update I'll be able to tell you that. And I also this week, just last Tuesday, had an awesome phone meeting with the producers of Scream Queens, Joke and Biagio of Joke Productions. Awesome people, just great, and it was an awesome meeting. I learned a lot, and they're just, if you're not following their blog, you need to go look up Joke and Biagio Producing in Hollywood. They've got one of the best blogs out there. They share knowledge, they share their experiences. Right now they're doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff after episodes air of Scream Queens, which is on VH1 on Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern or Pacific. Next, we've got, interesting news. I have one bit of interesting news, the film industry update for you. I want a big round of applause and kudos going out to my friends Phil Holbrook, Julie Keck, and Jessica King. They just wrapped up their Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign for their independent thriller Tilt. They were able to raise over $15,000, over $15,600 in just 45 days with their crowdfunding campaign. Look these guys up on Twitter and look up Tilt on the Kickstarter.com website. And also, Tilt, the movie, has its own Twitter account and website. This should be like the example, the prime prototype for crowdfunding campaigns. These guys did an awesome job, and they deserve everything they get, and we wish them luck in the future. Just for them, a little kudos, a little congratulatory Les Grossman moment for them. So let's take a brief moment, pause for this very important Les Grossman moment.
Soldier Boy tough. Hey, I got the new dance for y'all called the Soldier Boy. You just gotta punch, then crank back 3 times from left to right. Why me crank it, why me roll? Why me crank that Soldier Boy, that Superman, that hoe? Now why me you crank that Soldier? 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 Now why me?
Moving on, we've got the Business of Show newsletter highlights for this week, for the newsletter that came out on Friday, August 6th. For those of you who don't know, BOSI, the Business of Show Institute, at thebusinessofshowinstitute.com. This is one of the few places you're going to go. It's run by one of the few places you're going to go where you're actually going to have people that are teaching you the business side of screenwriting, not just, I talked about Marvin and BOSI as a part of the Tweeps of the Week last week. But this is one of the few places where they're actually teaching the business side. And there's some really awesome articles in the newsletter. You can sign up for it for free at the website. Link will be down below the video on the blog if you want to follow that link, or just type in thebusinessofshowinstitute.com. Marvin Nakuna, he's a Hollywood producer. He produced The Great Buck Howard and some other movies. He's also the BOSI co-founder, kind of also the front man. He's the one you're going to see the most. His article this week is extremely valuable. It's called "Don't Quit Your Day Job Yet?" And he goes in and he actually analyzes a hypothetical, Hollywood script deal and how the finances and the money breaks down. It's really quite fascinating. It might be a bit of an eye-opener for some people, but it's just something to keep in mind, the business side. It's something you've got to learn eventually if you want to really be able to make it as a Hollywood screenwriter. Other articles, Story Machines by MC Foley. MC Foley is an awesome writer. She's the author of a young adult book called The Ice Hotel. If you haven't read it, I think you can find it on Amazon.com and some other places. You'll find it online. It's an awesome book, very good. But her article is called Story Machines. She contributes to the newsletter every week. And Story Machines is a very good article about the different types of writers that she's met and who she wants to emulate. There's also an article by entertainment attorney Gordon Firemark. Every week he answers a screenwriter submitted question about the legal side of screenwriting. His column is called "The Legal Perspective for Screenwriters," and this week's question is about corporate consent regarding logos and short films and whether or not they're in the public domain and can be used if you're filming in front of the building, something like that. But very interesting stuff. He's always got good stuff to teach and answers for you. The next article is Dealing with a Difficult Executive. This is by Danny Manis. He's the Director of Development for Clifford Werber Productions. He also owns his own script consultant company called No Bull Script Consulting. He's a very awesome script consultant, and his article, dealing with the difficult executive is something that we're all going to have to deal with, whether it's on the studio, straight up Hollywood side, or even in, more in the independent community. You're still going to have to deal with some difficult people, difficult decision makers, stuff like that. Awesome article. The last article is Transfer Your Problems to Your Characters by Steve Hinchy, or Sean Hinchy, I should say. Sorry, Sean. Sean is a veteran screenwriting contest judge, and he's also the author of 39 Ways to Win a Screenwriting Contest and the 9 Mistakes New Writers Make. Good book, awesome book. I like the word awesome. I've been using it a lot this week. This guy's got a lot of experience judging contests. Really good article this week. There are also the running segments that they have in there, the box office report, best business advice for screenwriters. This is coming from working Hollywood screenwriters, directors, producers. Really good stuff in there. Digging the well before you're thirsty. Valuable information. They put up a list of the movements, the promotions, what's going on with Hollywood's top executives, agents, and managers. So you know who's where, maybe who's needs to expand their client list, maybe. Hint, hint. And stuff like that. If you follow Marvin's blog and just delve into BOSI as much as possible, you're going to learn what to do with the information that they're posting and digging the well. Basically what it means is digging well before you're thirsty is, networking. Building up your network of contacts and, priming the pump for the well before you actually need the water, even before you're ready to use these contacts, or, try not really use in that negative kind of sense, to further your career. And then, of course, at the end is always the Business of Show Institute recommends a product or service that they feel is vital, helping you achieve your goals. Um, and it's usually something they're promoting themselves through the BOSI. Usually very good stuff. Pretty much everything that they recommend, I would recommend too. For this week's Tweet of the Week, who else? We're going to spotlight Phil Holbrook, Julie Keck, Jessica King, and the entire crew of Tilt the Movie, the independent thriller. Phil is his Twitter account is Phil on Tilt. He puts out awesome tweets. He retweets great stuff from other filmmakers and screenwriters and whatnot. Great guy to follow on Twitter. Also, probably one of the nicest guys you're going to find out there. King is a Fink is the Twitter account for Julie and Jessica. They have a joint account, K Fink for short, but if you're going to put it in your Twitter, it's King is a Fink. And also Tilt the Movie, all one word, has its own Twitter account. These are awesome people. They interact, they talk. It's not just what they had for dinner or anything. These guys are, tweeting content. So we're going to put the spotlight on them. And finally, we've got the screenwriting tip of the week this week because I read an article on it, which I believe I have retweeted several times. And that is use a beat sheet religiously. If you don't know what a beat sheet is, the best one I found, the best one that I found is off of Blake Snyder's website, blakesnyder.com. He has a tools section and there's a downloadable beat sheet based, straight out of what he teaches in his book, Save the Cat, which is probably one of the better, if not the best, screenwriting book out there. If you haven't read it, I suggest you read it and then download the beat sheet. Basically, the beat sheet is like an outline. You've got your basic, I think his beat sheet has 14 or 15 steps on it, the different high points that need to be hit in a script in order. This makes for an excellent outline, or at least the basis for an outline. What I do with the beat sheet is I fill out the beats, these classic beats of the screenplay structure. First, make sure I've got all the high points and I know where I'm going, what I'm going to be doing, and then I start filling in the space in between. And that 15-step beat sheet ends up becoming 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages of outline of actual, scenes, lines of dialogue, everything. And I've got the entire movie, the entire script right there, line for line. And a beat sheet, of course, it's a guideline. It's an outline. It's not set in stone. It's not like you're, backing yourself into a corner. Everything's always, you can think on your feet. As you're going along, you may find something else works better in a particular situation than what you had written down before. So there's always room to innovate and, get off the beaten path, so to speak. But it is very helpful to have a beat sheet and to have that guideline. I read an article that it was an interview of Billy Wilder, and he said that knowing the ending before you ever even start is extremely vital when you're writing anything, whether it's a screenplay or novel or whatever else, because you know where you're headed. If you don't know where you're headed, your journey is basically just, endless. It's pointless. It's going to take that much longer to get to where you need to go, and it's probably going to be that much more of a struggle. So I suggest use the beat sheet every single time. Learn that basic structure. Later on down the road, when you're established and you're a big Oscar-winning, big, huge opening weekend screenwriter, you can go ahead and start, fucking shit up like Quentin Tarantino or one of these other guys that most people want to be like. That's it. That's the weekly vlog update for August 9th. And as always, keep writing.